I feel like to cry is not weak. To cry is to be vulnerable. To be weak is to be dangerous.
Explain.
I don't trust weak people because they break under pressure. I don't know what their thresholds are. I don't know when they're, I literally, and this is platonically or romantically, I seek out the weakness in people and I test their boundaries because I want to know ultimately, can you hold for me? So I don't trust weakness, but I definitely trust vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
You can cry on my lap. You can shout from the rooftops. You can have a whole breakdown if what you're going through right now is that heavy. But do you break? It's like the oak tree, right? And that's what I'm saying, how females are. We are freaking oak trees. When you have tribe, did you know, and this is crazy, in nature, oak trees will grow over 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And their roots go so deep in the ground that they actually interconnect with other trees inside of an oak tree forest. This is crazy. And when the wind blows, they literally leverage the other roots under the ground so they don't break. They'll bend, but they don't break and they don't blow over. I only want oak tree kind of relationships where you're rooted so deeply in the ground that when you do have the pressures and the winds and the things that come inside of life that try to break you, they can only bend you. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot, and if you have not yet, please hit that little bell below so you get a notification with each new piece of content that has dropped. If you have not yet, also subscribe, share, send it to your friends, send it to your family, send it to whoever, because we are making an impact every single day. Now, as y'all know, you have made a difference. The listener has made a difference. The givers are making a difference. Y'all have completely shifted the way that we do our show because you are, oh my gosh, these questions are overwhelming. These videos you want us to respond to are overwhelming. We could literally do 100 episodes. So y'all asked, we're going to answer to the best that we possibly can. Today, as usual, we got Anissa on the mic. What's up, baby?
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, girl. We got shot by Anissa, not with a gun, but with a camera. That's the girl. What's up?
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm excited.
Let's go. We got Who is Kenny V? Kenny, the creative director, baby.
Oh.
What's up?
What's up, everybody?
How
Let's
you
go.
feel? Kenny got a mic now.
Got the mic today.
Let's go.
The team is just gonna be chit-chatting away, okay, today. Creative director, producer of the show, major shout out. Check him out. Who is Kenny V? And without further ado, we just gonna jump straight in.
Wait. Oh, we have an announcement.
Oh my God, we
are a year old today. It's our birthday.
It is our birthday. We are 1 year old. We're 1 year old today. But what's really cool is when this airs, we'll be over a year old, but we're a year old.
It's exciting.
Maybe we should have gone live. They're trying to get us to go live, y'all. I don't know how to do it, but
one thing at a time, y'all. God,
one thing. I'm telling you, it's y'all. They are shifting our show.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be because we love the givers.
We do. They're amazing. They're very in tune.
Yeah, they want to know the things.
They do.
All
Look,
right,
I tried to do double-sided tape. It's not working. Okay, here we go.
Are you ready?
Probably not, to be honest. Deep sigh.
Okay. We're gonna start a little light.
Oh. We're starting with questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody asked, how are you single people dating married people? Like, not accusing you, but it's like, how are who am I dating this? But it's like, how are single people dating married people? Like, how can you be in a
is it cheating or is it an arrangement?
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, if someone is married and they want to bring, I think they're called unicorns. If you want to bring a unicorn into your relationship and have that extra person, are you both dating someone new?
I think that's a sexy time thing. Only.
No, I don't think so. Or maybe it's poly. I mean, technically every poly relationship is that because you can only have one marriage contract in the United States of America. So technically your first wife is your first wife. Everybody else is your girlfriend, legally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait. Then how are people poly? How is that a thing?
They're poly, but they're not legally poly. They're not legally all married. You can't be. In America, you cannot have more than one husband or wife. Yet.
Oh, okay.
I feel complete. Are we good? What you think, Kenny?
I think that's so funny. Somebody asked, "What's your nationality?" For the love of all things, she's a black woman.
Okay.
Why?
I don't come from Blackadonia, to be honest. It doesn't exist. You know, I hate that for African Americans or African Canadians. Anyway, okay.
That's
good
a word.
Question.
That's
give me a good question. Yep, that one. She just made a huge face. I only want those questions from here on out. No more light. The light ones are like, nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you deal with your lover wanting to leave you with 3 kids to go on a break?
How do you deal with your lover wanting to leave you with 3 kids and a break?
And go on a break.
What got them there? And also, okay, my brain is going in 38 different directions. For starters, I don't believe that because a man, I'm assuming that this is a female that asked a question, or is it the man? If it's a female,
it's a man that asked this question.
If it's the man wants to leave and the woman is going to stay with 3 kids, and I'm just saying that because that happens more often. I personally don't think that a man having sex with another woman means that he loves you less. Personally, I just don't. You're so big-eyed right now, but I don't feel that way. I feel like we genetically, biologically, and we're wired differently emotionally.
What,
Men, is that a surprise?
Yes, Sarah.
Why? What is surprising about that?
Because are you going off of biological nature alone?
No, I'm going off of the fact that women are emotional mostly, men are logical mostly. The physical aspect of the conquer to men doesn't mean anything. For women, we get all involved and attached, right? Most times. I'm speaking for most, not for all. So because we know that genetically and biologically speaking, that's the way that we're wired, a man can go spread his seed to 1,000 different women and not love one of them.
Oh.
He just wants to go have fun. For a woman, it's a little bit different. I think that's one reason why we get penetrated and we don't do the penetrating. It's very different for men and women.
I see what you mean. We absorb the energy.
Yes, and we can't get it out.
And we collect it, right? And they're giving the energy and they dispel it. And
as terrible as it is, it's like that video we saw where the guy was like, a woman can't wash us off. It's true. So I don't feel like a man having sex with another woman means that he loves me less. Now, does that mean I'm going to tolerate that in my relationship? I'm not saying that. Okay. But I am saying that I believe that to be true. I also think that in this situation, if you have 3 children and your partner just wants to go have fun, number one, what got you here? What's the result that you want? Will them having fun actually be enough for your own relationship? Well, like there's so many more questions that come up.
What if it's the woman that wants to break?
Ooh, that's hard on a man's
because I think
ego.
That's what it is. And the question, the man is asking you this, like, and not the woman. The woman wants to go and leave him with the kids.
She don't respect him. She doesn't.
She want to get some.
Yeah, she does not respect him.
She wants some new.
I saw a video that talked about how some of the most important things that masculine, high value men want is your submissiveness, right? Mm-hmm. And exclusivity. And if a woman by nature is going out being non-exclusive, it's like a disrespect to masculine energy. Mm. So if she doesn't respect you, and we naturally want to be loyal. It's so easy. And it's so funny because you'll see men that do everything and anything to get that girl that they want, right? They'll do anything, but they can't get her to commit because she really doesn't like you. She doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't want to be exclusive to you. It's an excuse for her to say, I'm going to keep my comfort, but I'm going to go have fun. But the truth is that person probably doesn't even want to be with you. Possibly.
For real.
Okay, next question.
Okay. Do you think an emotionally and mentally abusive person can change over time? That one's deep.
Do I think a person that is mentally and emotionally abusive can change over time. Yes, but it's work. I think that, are you willing to be self-aware enough with yourself? Mentally and emotionally abusive, where does that come from? Why are they that way? What's their childhood like? What traumas have they had? Like, I have so many qualifying questions. It's so hard to just say yes or no.
The only experience I had of that was in my marriage, and I genuinely believe that my ex-husband did not realize what he was doing was abuse. Like, he was the one that would, like, I would tell him, like, you're being disrespectful, and he'd be like, it's not like I called you a or something.
Yeah, you know
it's weird.
You know what's crazy, and we're gonna have to bleep that, Kenny.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. What's weird is sometimes we rationalize their own bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, I had a relationship where I was like, he wasn't calling me out of my name, but he was disrespecting me in so many different ways, but it wasn't malicious. And that's what we do when we want something so bad. We hold on to something that's toxic, which actually goes to our attachment styles, right? And I'll get to that in a second. But one thing that I realized is that when we are inside of our own trauma, when we are stuck inside of the end result that we think that we want, we will rationalize bad behavior and bad treatment because we would rather have that end result that we want so bad, the delusion of it anyway, not the real one that we want. We would rather have the delusion of an end result that we want than to be alone. And it goes back, I'm actually rereading this book right now called The Attachment Styles. And there's 3 different attachment styles. And what I forgot when I read this book that I'm being reminded of now is it's an anxious attachment style, an avoidant attachment style, or a secure attachment style. I'm a secure attachment style, after the assessment, doing all of those different things, but only 50% of the population, and it's probably less now with 2024, the way people are dating. But anyway, only 50% of people are secure inside of their relationship. And then the others are either anxious or avoidant, and 4% are both anxious and avoidant. And you start learning that when you understand the type of attachment style that someone has, well, why would you even stay with a person that's mentally and emotionally abusive? Why would you be that person that's mentally and emotionally abusive? It just goes back into the work of childhood. It goes back into the way that we attach based on how our parents treated us.
I believe that if you have an avoidant or anxious attachment style, you need to go to therapy until you feel like you can develop a secure attachment style, because that's how trauma bonds are formed.
Yeah. They say it takes 4 years.
4 years for what?
Up to 4 years to move out of either anxious or avoidant to secure.
Really?
That's the work that yeah, because it's all done in your childhood. It's like, were you that child that was encouraged and loved and your parents were attentive and present? Or were you the parents that were never really present? For parents that weren't present for their child, most times their children are avoidant. You don't need anyone, because you start to build these stories, these protective mechanisms, coping mechanisms, so that you can say, oh, I don't need them. And you keep everyone at an arm's distance away, but really love is all that you really want. But also, if you have love, it almost feels like you're in a cage, and truly all you really want is your freedom. It is confusion. And on the other side, where you are in anxious, for anxious avoidant types, most of the times, oh, my mom is calling. Should I answer?
Yes.
You guys, the givers are going to hear my mom. Hi, mommy.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Well, I'm missing my catch-up time, so
I'm shooting my podcast. Mom, I just got a good question. We got to come back. Remind me to come back to anxious. But what is a good... Okay, I would love for you to share an answer to one of these questions from our givers, so they can hear from you. So Anissa's going to ask you a question.
Hi, Mom. This is your other daughter here. So the question is, should men pay 50% or more when out on a date for multiple days? That's the question.
The question is, should men pay 50% or more for
dates? If you're actively dating a woman.
Let me see these questions. I don't like that question from my mom.
Okay.
Do you like that question?
Okay, I'll find another one.
I love that question.
Oh, okay, go ahead, mommy.
Yeah, because I'm from the old school, and they should pay 100%
of
the dates while they're courting a woman. 100%. And if you need an analogy, you could look at the Pac-Man story. story. You know, when you're chasing, you gotta do the work, put in the work.
The Pac-Man story.
Break down the Pac-Man story, Mom.
Story?
Well, you know, if you play Pac-Man, you know, the Pac-Man is chasing a girl. And if you want to do that, you gotta put in the work.
Touche.
100%.
Touche. Do we have another? Okay, she has another question.
Now, if you're just friends, sure, go Dutch, or you know, you can offer to pay for your friend's lunch. But if you are actively dating someone, put in the work. It's important.
I love that.
Period.
Here's the tree to get the good apple.
Oh, come on, Mama. Okay, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more question for you. Look at her sipping her tea. Okay, Mom, one more question for you.
What if more women?
I hope this is a good one, Anissa.
What if more women propose to men? Maybe some will be more loyal and stay together a lot longer. Look at your face, Sarah.
Did you see my mom's face?
I didn't hear the question. What's the question?
It said, what if more women propose to men? Maybe some will be more loyal and stay together a lot longer.
Well, I don't think anything who does proposal has anything to do with loyalty. You should, if you're in a relationship, you should be committed to loyalty. It doesn't matter who proposes. And to that question, it doesn't matter who proposes. If you're in a good relationship, you should be able to communicate with each other. You don't have to always put rules on it.
Wait. So are you okay with women proposing to men?
Well, sure. If it depends on the relationship.
Would you ever tell me to propose to my man?
Well, it depends on your relationship. Let's say, I don't know, let's say you've been in a relationship with someone for multiple years, and for whatever reason, you hadn't thought about getting married. Sometimes men need a little push. I'm not talking about I met you in 6 months, let's get married. And traditionally, men are the ones who propose, but I think it's okay if you have a good relationship and open communication. Why can't a woman propose? What's wrong with that?
I am speechless.
Well, if I was gonna give my answer, first of all, I guess devil's advocate, do what makes most sense in your relationship, but I would just never propose to my partner. I would never. Like, the level of never is so high because I feel like, because you've taught me, Mom, so much about how to be, you know, in my feminine and follow the lead of your partner. And you've done such a good job of making dad head of household, all the things that have happened. And you're still a go-getter and you're still a career woman and you're still ultra successful. And so inside of that, I couldn't even imagine.
I couldn't imagine Sarah getting down on one knee.
I can't imagine you proposing to a man, Sarah, but every relationship is different. Every relationship is different.
This is not how you expected this to go.
A person who is with another person, and they're just not, maybe they're just not in that headspace. And if that's important to someone, then it's okay to communicate that.
You know, in the Olympics, that one girl just proposed to her long-term boyfriend. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. But so I'm not saying this is for everyone, and I'm not saying this is for every relationship, but I am saying if you have a long-term relationship and someone's just not in that headspace for whatever reason, it's okay to nudge them a bit.
With a proposal?
Well, you know, sometimes we'll go back to the whole chase thing. If you're being chased, then you don't have to propose because someone really wants to, you know, tie things up and get things moving. But every relationship isn't like that. And
I'm so shocked.
some women, you know, should be forced to feel like they have to wait forever.
That's...
Throw it out there, and then, you know, maybe they're not even in mind to do a real relationship, and then you learn and you can move on.
Mom, I feel like that's emasculating to propose to a man, though. She's going to keep it classy. You're keeping it classy. I love that about you. This is where I got it from. Do we want to ask her one more or should we continue?
I got one more.
One more? You have time for one more question, mommy? Okay, last one. Okay. Make it good, Anissa. Knowing my mom. Don't just look at the first question you see
and
ask her the first question. Knowing my mother, ask her a good question. Because I don't want to waste the knowledge, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful because you know your mom is an oxymoron.
I do know that.
Yeah,
I know
you never know what you're going to get.
Because that definitely
I was bewildered by the last answer, to be honest. Bewildered.
The key to that last question, though, Sarah, is you got to read the situation, and it's okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it says, someone says, since a woman's value is supposed to be preserved, what are 5 things for her to increase her value as a wife?
Great question.
Say it again. Since a woman's value is
To be preserved.
to be preserved,
What are 5 things for her to increase her value as a wife?
5 things to increase her value as a wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, you know, God's given that. Just read Proverbs.
31.
I love that. I love your mother. I'm going to send some adoption papers in the mail, and I just need you to sign. Thank you.
I love you so much, Mom.
I love you too. So now break out the Bible and read it so everybody knows.
I'll pull it up on my phone. The Bible is far from me right now, but I will pull it out on my phone and we will go into Proverbs 31. You know, my mom always said, be a Proverbs 31 woman, the second part, not the first part. So we'll break that down. I love it, Mommy.
Okay.
I love you so much.
And I'm still looking for my ketchup.
I know. Tonight. I will call you tonight.
That's such a
Okay. Bye. Love you too. Bye.
I love your mother.
I love her too. She's pretty special. The thing about it is, my mom, you were there. My mom called me yesterday and I had to catch up and then I didn't get to because I was working late. And then today we talk every day and she will keep calling if I don't answer, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Oh, no, this is an overview. I don't want an overview.
I'll go to it.
Let me go to the actual Bible on my phone. I use a real Bible for the record, so this app is not apping. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Proverbs 31, the sayings of King. Okay, inspired every mother taught him. Listen, this is not it.
It says, who can find a virtuous and capable wife? It starts at verse 10.
I'm looking for it.
She is more precious than rubies.
Yes, she is.
Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life.
Ah, here we are. I'm with you. Tracking.
You want me to start over?
No. She selects wool.
She finds wool and flax and busily spins it, meaning that she was a hard worker. She is like a merchant ship bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plans the day's work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. Her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamps burns late into the night. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspread. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instruction with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last. But
Fleeting.
Right, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise.
Woo!
She was a boss lady with
a boss lady
with servants, workers, honored her husband. She was well known, and she wasn't a housewife.
But she was.
She
had her own business.
Not
and
a
she had the vineyard.
not a trad wife.
A what?
A trad wife, a traditional housewife, like the wife that just
cooks and cleans.
Yeah,
no, she wasn't. She had her own business. She brought value. She was highly respected, and those are the things that I think. When I think of a Proverbs 31 woman, that's what I'm excited about. She's helping the poor. She's a philanthropist out here. You know, she is excited and eager. She's waking up before the family wakes up to make their food ready. She's working with their female servants. Like, for me, when I think of a Proverbs 31 woman, that's real value. It's not enough to cook and clean. And that's why I think these stupid 50-50 conversations are so silly, because literally most of the things that people are saying they bring value in, you could outsource to somebody for $10 an hour. Let's just keep it real, right? Cooking, cleaning, and whatever else. Not to say that those aren't beautiful gestures, but that's not the only thing that brings value.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, and that's what I heard a lot of men say, like, I can pay somebody to cook and clean in my house.
Yeah.
Like, what do I need you for? Like, what do I need a woman for? I can pay somebody to cook and clean, and I can even pay for sex. Like, what other value can you give me?
There has to be more value than that.
Yeah.
There absolutely has to be more
something
value
that cannot be
that.
bought. Or at least if you can buy it, it'll be very rare.
My mom just texted me. She just said, "Hey, beautiful, just thought I'd add, there are some men that are quite content having their cake and eating it too. For those fellows, sometimes they need a little motivation. And then when that doesn't work, you need someone to grab them by their face and say, hey, wake up." She said, "I couldn't be mean and say that." Oh, I'm not even going to read this. Oh, but it's not the way we're all. She's essentially saying, like, you know, all women are not the same. Like, some women are a little more masculine. Some women are a little more feminine. And so you just get to find her.
Keep it cute.
She is, and that's what she's saying. Some in their endeavor to build a relationship, put themselves in a situation. But you get the gist. I love you so much. Have fun. Yeah.
I love your mom.
I do too. P31, that's how you bring value. Study that woman. Be the woman that brings value, not just in the bedroom and not just in the kitchen. And there's so many intangible things, and you'll get to have your pick of the litter.
I love that, pick of the litter.
Mm-hmm. That was very random, but I'm very happy that it happened.
Yes. I actually like this question because it goes back to what we were talking about previously.
Okay.
About the attachment styles.
Ooh. Oh, anxious attachment styles. Should I go back to it or no?
No, this is going to give you the leeway to this back into it.
Okay.
I don't know who this is, but someone says, oh, Dirk. Dirk says, hello, Miss Fontenot.
Hello.
I couldn't post all this in your podcast question, but here is one for you. Are you familiar with attachment styles? So I'm in a long distance relationship, Atlanta and DC. Not ideal, but doable. My lady has a dismissive, avoidant attachment style. She's also very ambitious and career driven, which I love, but I don't feel she has any balance in our relationship. We've had several conversations, but I don't see a lot of improvement. I think I'm reaching a crossroad.
Yeah, that's tough. Having an avoidant, dismissive partner is tough. And just to go back to an anxious style, you're anxious when you need to feel seen. You need to, like, it's like, you like, love me. I need you to love me. And so you start chasing. And the worst is when an anxious partner gets together with an avoidant partner. And that's honestly the majority of most relationships. One that is like, I love you, but I don't want you close, but I need you. I'm going to give you enough not to make you go away. But like, also, I can't really commit to forever. And they say things like, well, when we moved in together, and then the next time you guys have a conversation about the future, it's like they never said that before. And the anxious person is like, well, don't you see me? I'm here. And now they start doing
the dance
extra. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's this ongoing thing. So it's funny because in the book, it talks about there was, I think it was The Amazing Race in this couple, and everyone was so disappointed in this couple that won second place in the race because the woman kept saying like, will you hold my hand? I need you to hold my hand. And he was very dismissive towards her. It all comes down to this. If you have an anxious attachment style, you have to learn how to choose a partner that's okay with having connectedness and love, and also is okay with reassuring you. in every relationship, if you're not willing to reassure your partner, because biologically that's the way, and feminine, in a feminine way, that's when I say femininity tests, right? We're checking to see if you have mental and emotional capacity and mental and emotional proximity to where I'm at. That's why we ask those questions. Baby, would you love me if I was a whale? That's why we ask those questions of, will you please hold my hand? Mm-hmm. And the worst thing that you can do for your partner is to be dismissive. It's so much better for both sides if you are an avoidant to say, yes, baby, come here, let me hold your hand. But that's hard for them. So that's why I'm saying in the book, it talks about how it can take up to 4 years to move from your attachment style into secure. I'm gonna put that in the description because that book is really great.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I used to have an anxious attachment style. And now I feel like I'm more of avoidant. Like I feel more like the more someone tries to gravitate towards me at the beginning, I'm like, this is nice. Mm-hmm. I like this. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm not ready for this. I need to work on myself. Like, not completely like ghost or abandoning a person, but just like realizing like, hey, I need to work on me to even appreciate what you're trying to give me, so I can be more secure in how I feel about myself in my life. I feel like people with anxious and avoidant attachment styles need to go to therapy because, like you said, like only 4% of all people have both, like avoidant and attachment, anxious. And I'm like I feel like I'm no longer anxious because I'm never going to beg anybody to see me. Like, if you don't see me, I'm out. Like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I may cry about it in the car. Once I'm done crying, it's a wrap. So,
do you feel worthy of love? Yes. Do you feel like you deserve a good relationship?
Yes.
Do you feel like your person is going to come when your person is going to come, and that you're not rushing it? You're just doing what you need to do to be the best version of yourself now in order to attract that person. That's more secure than either anxious or avoidant. If you're going into a space of, I'm open to love and I'm excited about love and I can't wait to have love. Mm-hmm. And also right now, I know that I'm not the best version of me where I would attract the kind of partner that I want. So I'm going to do that work. That's secure.
Is it?
Yes, it's very secure, because if you're not at your best version of yourself, you're not going to attract the highest level that you could attract. So there's nothing wrong with saying, let me work on me. That's why they say men shouldn't date until they make enough money where they see themselves as successful. Because if you're constantly in a space of lack, or you feel insecure inside of who you are, it leaks out inside of your relationship. Now that turns into, when you do get into a relationship and you know you're not your best self, that's when you're needy unnecessarily. That's when you become codependent. That's when you do all that are not bad things. It's just in moderation, because biologically we're wired to be dependent on our partner. You can be an independent person. That's why dependent is in independent, right? Codependent. Mm-hmm. It's important to do that inside of your relationship, because it's biological. In the book, it talks about how our partners regulate our blood pressure. Like when in the Bible, when it says two become one, you literally become one. And I'm going to play a part of this book because it talks about an avoidant. That's where I'm at in the book right now, rewiring or remembering. But in the book, it talks about how they did this test, and the test was women would lay down and getting an MRI, and they'd say, okay, we're about to give you a shock. For single people, that spiked inside of their blood pressure. Oh my God, something's going to happen. For women that had a stranger hold their hand, it was significantly lower, that spike. For married women that had their husband hold their hand, the spike was almost non-existent. So what starts to happen is, because the man didn't hear anyone say, oh, you're going to have this shock, you literally start to regulate your blood pressure at the same level of your person. Now that person could raise your blood pressure. People could literally be giving their partners heart attacks, or it could really keep it calm, cool, and collected, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that you've got to understand, ultimately, you just got to understand your attachment style and choose a person that makes the most sense. Should I play a part of the avoidant part? Because that's where I'm at this morning. Y'all want to hear this?
Yes.
Is this interesting?
Yes.
Kenny's like, no. You could tell me. Is it interesting? No, you tell me, Kenny. Okay, let's do like 30 seconds. It's on 2 times speed, so.
Oh, Lord.
You know.
Attention, can't buy you love. It's believed that each attachment style evolved in order to increase the survival chances of humans in a particular environment.
Babe.
The secure attachment style has worked best because throughout history, our ancestors lived predominantly in close-knit groups where working together was by far the best way to secure their future and that of their offspring. To ensure the survival of the species under any condition that might arise, however, more than one strategy was called necessary. For those born into hostile conditions in which large numbers perished from hunger, disease, or natural disasters, skills other than collaborative ones became more important. Those individuals who were able to detach and be self-sufficient were more successful at competing for limited resources in these extreme environments, and so a segment of the population leaned toward an avoidant attachment style. Unfortunately, the survival advantage for the human race does not necessarily translate into an advantage for the avoidant individual. Chris McCandless might still be alive if he'd been willing to collaborate with others. In fact, studies show that if you have an avoidant attachment style, you tend to be less happy and satisfied in your relationships.
Dang.
That's audible.
Yeah.
Mm.
My brain is like, so
Yeah,
I
I
listen
don't
to
know how
everything
you
on
can-
2 times speed.
I had to like block all the voices out of my head to listen to that.
That's funny. Okay, next question. Are we complete?
Yeah.
Oh, the answer is to the question, is that person willing to move away from being a dismissive avoidant, or are they willing, or is that where they want to be? If that's where they want to be, you got to let them do them. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna. It's a whirlwind.
It's giving no.
Yeah, for me, it's a no. Okay.
It's giving no. It's giving no. All right, we have so many questions. There's so many.
I know. We still got all those ones from the other submissions. It's crazy. Kenny, you got any questions?
No, I know.
We have another one.
Okay.
Does age matter? If so, what are the pros and cons? And can we assume both parties are high value in their own right? Like say both male and female are both high value people.
Mm-hmm.
Does age matter in a dating situation? Like if she was 50 and he was 25. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't think age matters.
Would you date somebody younger than you?
No.
Never?
No.
What if he was high value? What? Sarah.
I'm sorry. like I'm assuming you mean like in their 20s?
Yes.
Would I date a man in his 20s? No.
Why are you looking
For
like
what?
that? You may want to get your groove back. I don't know.
No.
He may have all the things. What if he is so
No.
mature for his age?
He's not. Go experience life. Go run through every woman you need to run through.
Ma'am.
Go have the time of your life and leave me alone.
Ma'am.
And also to all these little boys in my DMs, I'm not going to jail for y'all, okay? No. My answer is no.
What do you mean jail?
Because there's all these little 18-year-olds trying to, no.
You can't go to jail for that.
First of all, no. I can be your mother, literally.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No. I feel like for me personally, no, age does matter to me. It's hard for me to even think of being with a man in his mid-30s. Maybe.
What is the starting age for you?
Honestly, 45 to 55 is ideal.
I'm sorry, Sarah. What?
It's just, why is that shocking?
You not even your age?
Questionable. It's not a no. It's just I have so many questions, qualifying questions. Why is that surprising? What do you? Kenny's young. Kenny, here we go.
Age.
You're 30. First of all, we're not the same age.
I
I'm
said
older than
we
you.
are
Oh,
the
okay,
same
okay.
age.
So Kenny, this is an example. Okay, are you ready for this, Kenny? Because I'm about to come for
What
you.
you got?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a relationship.
Yep.
Can we talk about how long it's been?
Yeah.
How long has it been?
Yeah, we've been in the game together for about 10 years.
10 years,
That's
and
a
you're
long
not
time.
engaged.
Not yet.
Do you
Not
want to be
yet.
married?
Yes.
Why have you chosen one person for faithful? He
Very
said he
faithful.
nodded yes
Very
before
faithful.
in case you hear this, to my beautiful girlfriend out there, he nodded yes before he said very faithful, so there was not hesitation. Okay, back to you. So you guys have been faithful in your relationship. Why not get married?
Well, it's actually about to be that time, but I can't say anything on the show right now. But
Dang, Sarah.
it's getting close to that point, though.
Okay, but what takes 10 years?
Well, I mean, for me, really, it's just understanding each other more, right? There was different levels of learning each other, right? Before, we just knew each other back in our hometown. Then it got to levels of, there was a break in between at one point, but it was a smooth break. And then we got back together again, nice and smooth. And then from there, just learning each other as we got older. Then we got to move out together, find out our career paths together, things like that. And just learning each other in and out. Now, of course, you can still do that with a ring on. At the same time, I feel like I was just learning. You know, I was just a young dude just pushing through on this journey. And I'm just, I would say maybe there's some type of insecurity with myself. Maybe just not being ready for some reason, you know, some fears and stuff. But those are things that I've communicated with her about. And then we'll figure it out. And I just have to take that next step and just put my big boy pants on.
Okay.
So
Kenny
really
got
more
this,
of that,
though.
You know what I mean? So it's more towards that. Like, she's an amazing woman.
Yes.
Takes care of me. I take care of her. So from there, it's really just taking that next step.
Yeah.
So I think it's really more of making sure I'm secure with myself.
Yes.
Continue to be secure in my relationship and
Yes.
just take that next step.
That is exactly why I don't date young men. He just gave you the answer. He's getting older. You're 30. I don't know if I can say it.
I'm 32.
Okay.
About to be 33.
Okay. So he's almost 33 years old. Now, at 33 years old, he feels like he knows who he is. He knows where he's going. He knows what he's into. He knows his lane. He's taking care of his girl. Now he knows at 33. You don't know any of the answers to those questions at 20, anything.
So would you
Definitely
date
not in your
somebody in their
20s.
early 30s?
Excuse me?
Would you date somebody in your early 30s? In their early 30s?
Has to be a unicorn.
Yeah, I feel, but
It has to be, you're literally a
but
unicorn.
I'm still confused at the starting age is 45. Like I would have thought.
I mean,
like
that's
maybe,
preference.
okay.
It's not my starting age. Would I date somebody that is 30?
6.
Maybe.
Girl,
You
what do
know,
you
maybe.
mean?
I know age is nothing but a number, but I
No, it's not.
I feel like most men don't even know who they are until they're 45. Actually, I feel like they start to figure out who they are at 35 and they hit their stride at 45. So not to say that I need a man that has all the answers, because there's still so much life to live at 45. I just don't want to have to choose the person that hasn't even figured out who they are, where they're going.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I
I
mean,
see
a
what
lot
you
of
mean.
my friends, even my age, right? I'm the oldest. I think I'm the oldest in majority of my friends. They're like 31, 30, 33, 32, things like that. And they're on the same boat. Some of them are engaged. Some of them have been with somebody for a very long time and still not engaged yet. But they're all in the same boat where they're still figuring out their careers. Some of them have kids already, which, you know, it makes me think like when you have a child already with that person, you should already lock it in. But they did get the engagement ring and things like that. But everyone's still figuring it out, I feel like, in my age group.
Yep.
So I can
I
see
don't
what
want
you
no
mean.
parts. No parts of that. Go
Now, there's
figure it out.
some. There's
Yeah.
some that at my age I got it. Like I feel like I got it together, but
No, you
not,
do now.
not every now. But a lot of people are still in their figuring out phase.
Yeah, I
right?
don't want to
Especially in
choose
their
that
20s.
that person in your 20s.
Mhm.
No. You should be failing so much by figuring out what it is that you like and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. I don't even feel like people in their 20s should be in these super serious marriages. Honestly, most people that got married in their freaking 20s are divorced by their 30s and 40s.
This is true.
100%.
The majority, right?
Yep.
Because we don't know who we actually are.
Sitting
So
right in
I'd
front
rather,
of you.
You know, I'd rather just skip all of that.
Yeah.
For
I-
me.
I definitely got married at 20, 21.
Yeah, but then you know what? Also, age ain't nothing but a number for some.
Yeah, but
It's
my,
a number. It's
my
a thing for
ex-husband
me.
is 12 years older than
I
me.
remember you
So
saying that.
yeah, so a lot of people they just don't.
I love a grown man.
Yeah,
I love a grown, distinguished man.
Would you date a gray-haired? What is
Oh,
it called?
A silver fox.
A silver fox.
Hell yeah, I'd date a silver. I can't wait to be a silver fox too myself.
Your mom is a silver fox.
I know she is. She's
I-
finally stopped dyeing her hair. Like this part is it's like white.
Mm.
And then like the rest of her dreads are like her hair is this long every year.
You should
And then
get
she
lots.
cuts it.
Stop playing.
I will one day when I'm old. I'll either have the like short old lady do or
The
dreads.
short old lady do.
yeah, you know, the little short, little pixie cut with the little curls. It's one or the other. Dreads or the short old lady do.
Okay.
Fire question. Let's go the fire question.
All right. Do you think men have lost faith in the modern woman of today?
R.I.P. I do.
You do?
I do. I do because I feel like modern women of today are trash.
I was just about to say that.
They're
trash.
They're entitled, and not even from a judgmental space. Maybe I should choose a different word.
No, trash is appropriate.
Sounds judgmental. They're low vibrational. They're entitled. They aren't kind. They aren't mindful. They aren't thoughtful. They aren't helpful. So it's literally like, what's the point in having this person? I mean, that in my mind, wait, let's look up the definition of trash.
Because if you think about a garbage can, it's in the way, it's not mindful.
That's what I'm saying. Trash.
It doesn't smell kind at all.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, discarded. They're not discarded. Okay, another word. A person or people regarded as being a very low social standard.
Trash.
I can't believe that's in here.
That's a literal definition.
Oh my God, damaged or wrecked. We can actually say trash. Trade associations trash for legislation. Okay, what is the literal meaning? Anything that is worthless and of low quality, waste. Well, you know what? I think that these entitled, empty, shallow women are specifically, let me just make sure I get it right, of low quality and a waste of a beautiful woman.
AKA trash.
They said it in the definition.
You can be distinguished. I'll be the ratchet one out of the two of us.
I'm not this. I'm not always distinguished.
I know.
Yeah, I think I understand why men have lost hope in a lot of women.
I feel like men are too captivated by the looks of women that they don't take the time out to look at her heart.
I feel like women need to take more advantage of that.
I'm sorry?
I feel like women are dropping the ball in the most major way, because if you know that masculine likes an aesthetic, why would what's happening is you are, what is the word? You're disqualifying yourself from certain types of men when you don't take care of yourself. You don't have to be lashes, hair, makeup, but put yourself together. You know what I mean? Care about how you step out the door. It all goes back to legacy. We know this. And I don't think enough women are using that to their advantage. I just don't. I think women are lazy. A lot of women, not all women. And I'm really talking about modern women.
I have a good one.
Okay.
Is it okay for you to go through your man's phone while he's sleeping, even though he hasn't given you a reason to feel that you have to go through it?
No, I don't think it's okay. I think that's deceptive. I think we've had this conversation. I've checked a phone one time.
Yeah, off the podcast, we talked about this.
One time.
But you found things.
Oh, I absolutely found all the things. But I feel like if I feel in my heart like I need to check your phone, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's over with.
So why don't I trust you? But when I went through a phone, I sat with come have a seat, sir. I'd like to look at 3 things. And he came and sat down, and honestly, I found exactly what I was looking for. He was shaking when
I was about to say, how did he hand you the phone?
Girl, he was shaking. Phone almost fell out of his hand. And the funny part is I knew.
Did you already go through it beforehand?
No.
No. So wait, you didn't go behind his back. You sat him down like a child and said, "Hey."
Not like a child, like a grown-up. There are 3 things I would like to look at. And I shouldn't say this, but here we go. If women ever want to look with their person, because I'm not deceptive. I don't believe in going behind backs and doing sneakies. That's not in my DNA. It's not in my code. I very directly will go do what I feel like I need to do, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, what I wanted to look at was deleted photos. Oh yeah, I went straight to deleted photos, found even more than I bargained for, to be completely honest. And
that's such a smart place to look.
Yeah. I'm giving away the code for men. Sorry guys, but you should probably delete your deleted photos folder because it saves for 30 days. So yeah. And then what you do is on the phone, you can like swipe down and like search for things. So when you swipe down to search, you can just type in keywords.
So
yeah.
What keywords did you look?
Oh, just a bunch of cuss words, really.
No, I need tea. Wait a minute. What words?
Words like sexy, words like, words that you would send to people.
Your side chick.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
Thanks.
You were methodical with that, ain't you?
I'm direct. I'm really quite direct.
Because normally people go straight to the messages. Let me see your messages.
There ain't no way. People have Trina saved as Bobby, you know, or for guys, they got Darian saved as Pizza Hut, you know, like there's just no way to really know who is who or
Why is
what
Pizza
is
Hut
what.
calling you at 11:30 at night?
Oh, I put in an order. I bet you did. I bet you did.
Order for some of that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. I have one.
Okay.
Should love keep you in a relationship? If not, what does?
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't think love should keep you in a relationship. I think that love is a feeling and feelings are fleeting. And I feel like our feelings will fail us every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I think what should keep you in a relationship is an alignment and an anchor to the mission of what your relationship really means. Yeah. I think that when you get to a space where you just love this person, what happens when you don't love them anymore? You quit and you leave. But if you're actually invested in where your relationship is going, if you're invested in the impact your relationship is going to make, if you're invested in the way that your relationship is going to make you feel as a human and vibrating higher and creating more opportunities for yourself and for others or whatever it may be, whatever you're most excited about, that's what should keep you in a relationship. And that's why I think most marriages end in divorce, because people get married for love. I don't feel like that's realistic. Right? I like, and anyone that has ever been in a long-term relationship would know exactly that. It's not, this ain't that, you know. There's going to be times where you can't stand your partner, where the idea of them even breathing around you makes you want to punch them in the face. Like, let's just keep it 1,000, right? If you've ever been in a real relationship, it is not lollipops and gumball drops all the time. But when you go through those seasons, are you anchored to God? Are you anchored to mission? Are you anchored to purpose? Or are you just looking for an easy way out? Love is fleeting. It comes and it goes. Maybe I should say being in love is fleeting, but love can be the underlying thing.
I feel like love is more of a choice. Because it's just like, if you base anything off of a feeling, you're going to fail.
Oh, facts.
Because it's like you said, feelings are fleeting. And the Bible says that the heart is deceptive.
Oh my gosh.
So if you base anything off of what your heart feels, it's never going to last. And a wise friend of mine, shout out to you, Jeremiah, Prophet Jeremiah, he said, marriage is the byproduct of purpose.
As it should be.
Yeah. And my mind was blown. I was like, what? Because, you know, when you're a girl and you're like growing up and you're playing make believe with your dolls and you're thinking about your wedding day, you're thinking about, oh, how in love you're going to be and love and butterflies. But then it's like, you don't really think about what is the purpose, because you think the purpose is the love. Like, you think that you're just supposed to meet somebody that you think is cute and makes you laugh. And it's not, I'm being real surface level, but you get my point. Somebody that's compatible with you. And then like y'all made the decision to be in love and to just get married and procreate. And then y'all die together.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like that is such a cop out to what the real thing is. And I think that's why a lot of relationships fail, because that's what they think it is.
Yeah.
People do not teach on the work, like, married for for better or for worse, like, that's not just a thing.
No, but people they romanticize everything, and I feel like that's kind of where relationships started going downward.
I blame the Disney Channel.
I mean, I blame media.
For sure.
I blame society. There's a lot of things to blame, but the truth is that you have to be self-aware enough to say, this is what I want. This is what I'm after. That's why the movie stops when they meet each other. And then they say, and then they lived happily ever after. They don't show you what that looks like. Happily ever after looks like work. And most people aren't willing to do that. So no, I don't feel like relationships should be based on love. I think it should be based on decision, self-control, self-awareness, and powerful choice.
Yeah, it's a contract. It's a covenant. Like a contract, there's stipulations within the contract for it to remain.
Agreed.
You ready for some reaction videos now?
Oh God. Yep. Let's do it.
That laugh was horrible. I'm sorry.
Let's do it.
So we have one. Go into the group chat.
Oh.
The one with the three of us, Kenny.
Okay.
You and I. And go up to the one that says, pay for my babysitter.
Pay for my babysitter. Did mocking go to the... There's so many.
Yeah. Go to the first, the one that says pay for my babysitter.
What? I don't see it.
Go down. I'm going to react to it. Hold
on. Still don't see it. I see that you reacted to something. Oh. God, here we go. Should I pay for a babysitter?
Someone like me to go out on a date, I gotta get a babysitter for my kids.
Okay. Should I pay for that?
Yes. Because guess what now?
I gotta pay for the kids that you made prior
yes,
to me.
Yes, because guess what now? A part of me is my kids. And in order to take me out...
dating!
That's part of dating.
You're making an investment for a relationship. So,
and that's why...
And I shouldn't have to pay for your trying... When you invest in
I'm not saying every day. I'm saying, okay...
No date. Unless we're in a relationship, that's when you can even feel like I should be adding on.
I should be paying
for
stuff like that.
A man that's for me, in my opinion...
Yeah.
They know that, okay, she's a mother of two. She's holding down a business. She's holding down a house. She's commuting from Jersey to New York. All right. How much is your babysitter?
I'm not even going to look at you. I can feel your eyes on me. I'm not even going to... I'm not.
Okay, that's wild to me. Now, if a man offers to pay for your babysitter, I think that's a beautiful thing. But the expectation that a man now has to, you're essentially being that level of entitled is just showing the man from the jump, number one, that you are entitled. But number two, you come with baggage. You expect me to take on your children and I'm not even serious with you. Why would I choose you?
It's a test, Sarah.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't think that way. I have no idea. I'm just shooting in the dark at this
point. A baby. I mean, it's nice if you think to do that. I think that's a nice thought.
I just feel like it's entitlement. Because I'm a mom. So if a man comes to me and is like, hey, I would love to take you out. I'm like, okay, well, cash at me $75 for a babysitter. Like I couldn't. I feel like just the caliber of person that I am, and and the friends I have, like y'all would look at me like I'm on crack. You be like, you did what? I'm like, what? He want to take me out? I could just see the look like.
Well, this is the thing. You had that baby with another man, and it's not your new man's responsibility to do anything for that
not
baby.
Even your man, like a guy you're just dating.
Oh,
that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's like the debate about, that's kind of similar to a woman that has multiple kids by multiple men. Like with one of the dads bring the kids McDonald's. She expect him to bring McDonald's for all the kids and gets mad and won't give the kid the food. Because he didn't buy the other kids all that. I
just feel like most women are just delusional. And I feel like, most of us are not virgins, right? And some of us just happen to not have children because we might have been a little safer or whatever it may have been. God may have been like, nope, not right now. Or some people might have just handled it. Whatever the case may be, I personally feel like women with children from multiple men, you are disqualifying yourself from so many good men. When you have entitlement, you are disqualifying yourself from so many good men. You can plant the seed, which is what feminine does. Femininity says, oh man, I have 2 kids. I'm going to have to find a sitter, but I can't wait to see you. If he's really interested in you, he would say, oh, you know what, baby, let me send you the money for a sitter. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and see me. Oh my God, thank you so much. If he doesn't, you see where that man is at. If that's not the type of man that you want, don't choose him. But you shouldn't be asking. And I think that's the problem with a lot of women. Ladies, where am I at? Here or am I here? 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 Here?
Yes. Here.
Ladies, stop asking men for things. It literally just creates an opportunity for you to put yourself in the box of an entitled, ungrateful, modern woman. Men that actually love you and like you want to do for you. You shouldn't have to ask for anything. Yes. You can plant the seed. If he's not getting it, go plant your seeds elsewhere. But if you have to ask, I'm like, no. Men that know the needs want to solve the problem. That's it. Masculine men that know the needs want to solve the problem. And if you keep planting seeds and he's not picking up, you can, one, have the conversation of, you know, babe, I feel like we have a conversation all the time and XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Have the conversation. And after that conversation, if you see no change, choose someone different. Or if you want to be with a man that doesn't, no, that's impossible. No, masculinity solves the problem. I'm sorry. I can't. I try to level. There is no leveling. It wants to solve a problem. Plant a seed. Plant the seed and let that man show you who they are.
All right. Go to the last one.
Okay. Here we go.
You deal with a lot of grief. Like I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about John Singleton, your mother.
Divorce. Both of my sisters died.
Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you really, have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it?
I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get. That's it.
Get some tissue for me, brother.
No, I need no tissue.
I do.
Black men cry.
That's right.
Fucking tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful Pain, 1992. There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You're making me cry.
Get Tyrese some tissue.
I don't need no tissue.
Man, you're U.S., man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love you.
You've
too,
been holding
brother.
this
Do you understand how much
though.
power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview.
Okay.
I've been watching you.
You asked me the question.
I did, but I'm getting you.
You should have never asked the question
I love you,
if you
brother.
didn't want to see
I love you, brother. I love you.
how hard it's been to get through.
I love you, black man.
Okay, do you not cry?
Absolutely.
You might not bring it to the radio,
Absolutely.
but this is what being grown
Thank
is.
you, brother.
I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup going to mess up.
Hear me.
We love you, Tyrese.
I feel, oh man, that's so true. I feel like we kind of touch on that a little bit on the podcast.
Touch on what specifically?
Touch on how much men are hurting in silence.
Oh yeah, with Shaq and Wayne, you was making that point about them too.
Yeah, well, for them, it was more so about share with your woman. You should feel safe to share with your woman. I'm just talking about in episodes in general. I feel like so many men in Wall Street Trapper, he talked about it too. Men hurt in silence. And when things go wrong, us as women, you know, we have tribe. When I went through what I went through, you remember when I was crying on that chair over there and you and Athena were here and you held me and you're like, oh girl, it's going to be okay. Who do I need to fight? This, that, and the other. Like, we have tribe. It's normal for us to cry. It's normal for us to be vulnerable. It's normal. We've had conversations with the 5 of us all in the bed, you crying, they crying, all of us crying, me like, no, whatever it is. We have true tribe that not only will hold you accountable, but will hold you when you're down.
Literally.
And I feel like we live in a society. I don't know why I'm emotional. Maybe it's just because I don't like to, like, I'm an emotionally attached like person.
Yeah.
I'm connected.
You don't like to see people like sad.
I don't, but I feel like men, for the most part, they don't even express how they feel to their boys. They just take it to the chin. They just keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's toxic, but it's real life, especially for a Black man.
I believe it's because the society has made Black men feel like being emotional is gay and weak.
Well, that's not this society. That's been since.
Well, yeah, but but especially in the Black community, like think about how many TV episodes you've watched, how many movies you've seen where when a man is trying to be emotional or just be like, man, I love you, man. Like, you know, trying to be the comedian, but it's like you know what I mean? Like it is ridiculed. I'm sorry. It's ridiculed and like seen as a distasteful thing. Like it's that I've learned that toxic masculinity isn't a thing. It's just that there are masculine people who are toxic. But I feel like people they have made it so because to cry is to be weak. You know what I mean? And masculinity and weakness are not synonymous in a sense, like at all.
I feel like to cry is not weak. To cry is to be vulnerable. To be weak is to be dangerous.
Explain.
I don't trust weak people because they break under pressure. I don't know what their thresholds are. I don't know when they're, I literally, and this is platonically or romantically, I seek out the weakness in people and I test their boundaries because I want to know ultimately, can you hold for me? So I don't trust weakness, but I definitely trust vulnerability. You can cry on my lap. You can shout from the rooftops. You can have a whole breakdown if what you're going through right now is that heavy. But do you break? It's like the oak tree, right? And that's what I'm saying, how females are. We are freaking oak trees. When you have tribe, did you know, and this is crazy, in nature, oak trees will grow over 100 feet. And their roots go so deep in the ground that they actually interconnect with other trees inside of an oak tree forest. This is crazy. And when the wind blows, they literally leverage the other roots under the ground so they don't break. They'll bend, but they don't break and they don't blow over. I only want oak tree kind of relationships where you're rooted so deeply in the ground that when you do have the pressures and the winds and the things that come inside of life that try to break you, they can only bend you. So for me, I just feel like there's such a beautiful opportunity for men to express vulnerability, for men to be able to say, you know what, I do cry, for men to be able to say, I am going through something. Because what happened, look, even when women go, it's like men and women will go through things, but people only check on the woman. And men have been wired to not even express how they feel. And when they do express, usually they get beat down. Like that one video or whatever we were talking about when you were like, oh, somebody said they don't want a man that cries is weak. They don't want no, that's not the truth. And it's women like that are ruining genuine and authentic men.
That was that K. Michelle video. I remember.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
So I guess a sidebar question would be, what is your advice for men who seek out to be more vulnerable but feel like they can't?
For the men that are out there that want to be more vulnerable, number one, you got to ask God for discernment. Because what I've learned is, as a person that is very vulnerable, some people will try to use your vulnerabilities against you.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because I've conditioned myself to, I don't care if whatever gets thrown in my face, I don't care. Like, okay, that's your experience. Okay, great. I'm okay if someone uses it against me. But if you're someone that is new in expressing yourself and someone throws it in your face, you may close off and never open up again. So you have to have a discerning heart with who you allow yourself to be vulnerable with. Number one. Number two, get some male friends that are okay with you being real and authentic. It can't always be about the shallow stuff in life. Like, you need to have a mentor, God, maybe it's a father figure, maybe it's your dad. I don't know, but there has to be somebody that you genuinely trust where you can express how you really feel, because the truth of it is, true masculinity, although I really want a man that's going to be open and honest, and I will have that, but will I ever have 100% from a true high value, super masculine man? No. He will not be that honest, that open. No, he'll be honest. He won't be that open, because he's only going to show you what he's going to show you, but he's also going to protect you. So he can't be open with absolutely everything, because now he's just opening you up this Pandora's box. So you have to have those people that you can trust, that you can confide in on the other side. Maybe it's a best friend. I don't know, but you have to maybe it's therapy. Maybe it's music. I don't know how to tell each person, because we're all different and we all have different relativity points. I would just say be intentional about having people that you can truly express your realest of the real with, and people that aren't going to hold it against you. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to make you feel crazy. They're going to say, okay, I understand. And whether they need a hold for you or literally hold you, they won't hold it against you.
Mic drop. I love that.
What do you think, Kenny? You're a man.
I agree. So a lot of us, like for me personally, like I can talk to my friends. I can talk to my lady as well, which is dope. So I can be very open and vulnerable. And for me, I always like to keep it 112 as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So with my guy friends, we're all pretty solid, just like how you have your friends group as well. I've had the same friends since middle school, probably some as well as like elementary school, right? And a lot of my friends are family to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my tribe. So then they're in a different level as me as well. Like they have kids now, they just had kids, engaged, things like that. So we can all relate in different levels as well. And it's really important to have that friend group that you can be open with. Now, hopefully for those who are vulnerable with their friends, hopefully you can find out right away who's a snake or not, and actually has your back and gives you great support.
Yeah.
And actually cares and listens.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then just avoid that person and take them out the group.
Right. Period.
Right. Because they're going to do a bad job for everybody. But just like you said, like if it has to do with going to church, you know, some people have to be around a higher power. Some people have to go to therapy. Shout out to, what's it called? Better Health.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to get sponsored by them soon. So that's the goal.
Hey.
And doing things like that, like go to therapy, go to church, be in other like friendly groups that you can find, whether, let's say you're in high school and you're like, man, I need to go to some after school program that has to do with arts. Like I can relate from me being an artist. I always relate to putting my thoughts and feelings through music.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my venting way of therapy. Like music was therapy for me.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it might not be music. It might not be painting. It might not be any of those things. It might be really diving into the Bible. It might be talking to an older person sometimes, just randomly. Maybe you're walking down the street and you're like, yo, I'm going to just ask this random person. That everyone has their own journey, right? They have their own life. And you'd be surprised that one bar they may have could change your whole life and perspective. So for guys, it's important for us to all just find a way to push through. Still keep your masculine.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should be crying every day, everywhere, right? But I do believe we have to vent at some point because just like anybody, a guy, a woman, if you bottle up all your emotions, at some point you're going to blow up.
Yeah.
And that's where you can become psycho. People are going to call you narcissist.
Yeah.
All these things because you didn't work on what was inside that bottle.
Yeah.
So at some point, just figure out who you're comfortable with to talk to, whether it's a pastor at church, whether it's Better Health, whether it's going to be a friend, a neighbor. Shoot, sometimes just talking to an animal.
Yeah.
And just talk.
Yeah.
Just say it out loud. Like you finally got it out. A plant. Like you just got it out.
Yeah.
So I would suggest just vent.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was music, like I said. But find a way to just vent. It'll make a big difference.
I agree. That's so good. And you know, I got to say to close it out that we as humans already go through so much. Everyone has been slapped in the face by life, and we get to decide, you know, do you learn to take the blows, or do you learn to fight back? And I just feel like fighting back looks like fighting for yourself, which looks like doing the work to be self-aware, to be self-controlled, to have self-discipline, to have accountability, to take responsibility. And when you do these things inside of your life, when the blows come, it's just easier to bounce back.
Yeah.
The recovery time is faster, but you still got to heal. You know, you can't just take a blow and keep taking blows. That's how you die, right?
This is true.
Literally, when you think of fights, like you've got to take that time to heal. You've got to take that time to do the things that we've mentioned. So I feel complete. Are we complete?
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. If you've watched all the way to the end of this episode, please make sure to hit that button below, get subscribed, hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content. We are trying to get to all of the answers for your guys' questions. If you have questions below, there is a way that you can submit questions on the website. If you want videos, you can submit those videos as well. And if you haven't yet, make sure to check out that How to Be a More High Value Feminine Woman if you are excited about calling in or attracting in your high value masculine man. Super excited about that. And if no one has told you today, you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com. Nothing can stop you but you got to do something about it. And before I go, major shout out to Anissa on the mic over here.
Hi.
Shot by Anissa.
Yeah.
Major shout out to Who Is Kenny V over here. We got Kenny on the switchboard.
Who?
And without further ado, love you guys. Mwah. Bye.